Hello everyone. Today we are going to study the topic cell cycle and cell division. This is the first part 1 that I am going to teach for biology class 10th ICSE. We all know that cells are the structural and functional unit of life. The cells which compose the body of animals and plants do not live forever. Each cell has its own life, and after reaching that lifespan, the cells die. Then, how do the plants and animals continue to grow? It is because of the cell division. Cell division is the most fundamental characteristic of life, and it is needed for growth, replacement, repair, and reproduction. Cell division is required for growth. We know that basically the life starts as zygote, which is a fertilized egg. This single celled zygote undergoes so many divisions, and then the growth of the body takes place, and a multicellular organism has millions and millions of cells. So all these cells actually are responsible for growth, and this happens due to cell division. The replacement of what? The old worn out cells. For example, the life of RBCs, human RBCs, is just 120 days, but after 120 days they are needed to be replaced. So they are actually undergoing cell division before they are dying, and therefore cell division is for the replacement of old worn out cells. It also helps in the body to repair. When we meet accident and injuries due to which some tissues get damaged, then they are repaired by the production of new cells by cell division. And also the cell division is required for reproduction. To produce its own kind is one of the most important life processes, and cell division basically helps in reproduction. Some unicellular organisms like amoeba, bacteria, they divide to produce two similar independent cells by the mitosis process. Cell cycle or cell division takes place regularly in all the cells, but the rate of cell division is not the same in all. For example, brain and nerve cells do not divide at all. Brain consists of nerve cells. These do not divide at all. They are present in millions, but are present in the interface inside the brain. There are certain areas in the plant which we call as meristematic tissue or meristem, or there are several other tissues in the animal body which continuously grows. The reproductive organs undergo meiosis. They produce haploid cells, and there are certain cells which undergo uncontrolled division, and these are cancerous cells. What I want to say over here is that all the types of cell division does not take place in the same pattern, and also the rate of cell division differs in the same species. If we talk about human species, it differs in children, it differs in adults, as well it differs in old aged people. There is rapid cell division in children. The new cells are continuously added, and the production of cells outnumbers the rate of dying cells, and hence the growth occurs. So growth occurs because the new cells are formed more in comparison to the dying cells, while in adults the production of new cells and the number of dying cells remains nearly the same. But in old age, the number of cells produced are always less than the number of cells that die. Hence, decline in the body mass occurs, and there is always reduction in the weight of an old age person. What is the difference between cell cycle and cell division? We are going to first study about cell cycle. The cell cycle is the series of events that take place in a cell, and cell division is a part of cell cycle. Usually the chapter is named as cell cycle and cell division. We are going to study first about cell cycle, and it has all the cyclic events that takes place, and in it is a small part which is actually cell division. So let us see what is cell cycle. This is the figure representing the cell cycle. Since it is a cycle, we represent it in a round circular form. You can see that there are different phases in the cell cycle, and this particular part which is represented as M is the cell division, and the bigger part of the cycle which is called as interphase is the preparatory phase. So this is a small divisionary phase during which the cell divides, but it prepares for much of the time during the cell cycle, which is called as interphase, and therefore when the cell is not dividing, sometimes the interphase is also called as the resting phase. The interphase or the resting phase is again divided into three sub phases: the G1 phase, the S phase, and the G2 phase. The G1 or G2 phase are also known as the growth phases. This is the G0 phase where the cell does not participate at all in the cell cycle, but when it enters into the cell cycle, it starts with G1. This is the first phase where actually the new daughter where the first gap phase or the growth phase, in which the rate of synthesis of the materials of the new components of the cytoplasm takes place. And after this, the cell enters into the S phase. S stands basically for synthesis. Synthesis of what? Synthesis of DNA. When DNA synthesis is complete, this phase ends. This DNA synthesis is done by the process of replication. The DNA replication is the process in which the single stranded DNA forms its replica, the complementary strand, and then forms the complete double stranded DNA. And after that, the cell enters into the G2 phase. This is the second growth phase where the final preparations for the division is taking place, because after this finally the cell is going to enter into the divisionary phase. So here the cell size is quite big. The cell is double the size what it was over here. It is because of the increase in the component, both nuclear component as well as cytoplasmic component, and therefore the cell size is quite big over here. And finally, after the G2 phase, it enters into the divisionary phase. Here it has been written as M phase. So the division is actually represented as mitotic phase. This entire is called as divisionary phase, which is divided into two parts. So what we studied right now was the cell cycle. Cell cycle has two main phases, interphase and M phase, in which we studied that interphase is further divided into three subphases: G1, S, and G2 phase. M phase, which is the divisionary phase, is further divided into two subphases. The first one is known as karyokinesis and the second one is known as cytokinesis. Kinesis means actually division and karyo means nucleus. Karyo means nucleus. So here what will take place? The division of nucleus, and here the cytoplasm will divide. So we see that karyokinesis is always ahead of cytokinesis. Always the nucleus will divide first and later the cytoplasm will divide. In a cell we have nucleus and cytoplasm. So nuclear division is always ahead of the cytoplasmic division. Karyokinesis is further divided into four subphases. The process of division of the nucleus completes in four phases. The first one is prophase, the second is metaphase, the third is anaphase, and the fourth is telophase. When we will be studying mitosis and meiosis in detail, I will be teaching all these four phases in detail. So we come to this diagram again, and here you see that these four phases which has been here, one more phase, pro-metaphase. Pro-metaphase actually is a phase between prophase and metaphase. For each phase we can have like early prophase and late prophase. Here it is pro-metaphase and then late metaphase. For each phase we can have an early phase and a late phase. Here there is just one phase given for metaphase, that is between prophase and metaphase. Otherwise basically there are four phases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. All the four constitute the division of nucleus, which is karyokinesis, and then later comes cytokinesis. And you see here is the arrow which is showing that after cytokinesis the cell has been divided into two daughter cells, and each daughter cell will again enter into the interphase, and each daughter cell will undergo G1 phase, S phase and G2 phase, and when they are ready for the division again, they will be entering this phase. So this cyclic events continues again and again. The division of the cells in the body of an organism continues throughout the lifetime at a rate required by the inherent needs and responses to the internal and external conditions of the environment. So only when the death of the organism takes place, the cell cycle can come to a stoppage. Thank you.